Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this webinar on Zoho People. In today's session, we'll be having a walkthrough of Zoho People and I'll be giving you a demo of all the features that we have so that you'll get a bigger picture, an overview of what we have in store in Zoho People. I welcome you all once again, and I'm Annie and I'll be your host for today's session. Now, before we get started, please note that you're in the listen only mode. If you have any questions, you can type them in the question bar that you see on your screen. I have a product experts here to answer your questions right away. Or you can reserve your questions for the end of the session too. We'll have a dedicated 10 minutes at the end of the webinar session just to answer your questions. Now let's get started. This will be my agenda for today's session. I'll start with a quick introduction on what Zoho People is all about, and we'll take a quick look at the core features we have in store. And the major part of the webinar is going to be a live demo where I'll take you to the actual screen of the product and I'll be walking you through the different features. Now let's start. So most of you listening to this webinar, we all know what Zoho People is all about, but I do see some new attendees too. Zoho People is an online HR management software. It is a comprehensive one. It can take care of everything right from onboarding to offboarding and everything in between. And what you see here on the screen is the core features that we have in store. We have a centralized employee database to manage your employees. Any process that you follow in your organization can be created as an online HR service. Leave management, attendance and rostering, a centralized files repository to store and manage your organization-wide and even employee-specific files, a performance management tool with accurate evaluation metrics, employee learning and development, HR process automation in terms of workflows, automated mail alerts and reminders, and cases, a centralized question management tool to manage your employees' questions. These are the core features that we have in store. And like I mentioned earlier, a major part of this webinar is going to be a live demo. So without much ado, let's go over to the product where I'll be walking you through these features. I've already logged into my Zoho People account. And once you log in, you'll be landing in the home page of Zoho People. The home page sports an interactive dashboard with a variety of widgets as you see here. This gives you quick information on important announcements that is going on, your upcoming holidays or your attendance and leave activity, quick links or your files and other important information. This is completely personalizable. If you would like to change this, if you feel like some of the information here is not relevant to you, you can enable or disable the tabs. Or even if you feel something is important, you can drag and drop and you can place them on the top here. So Zoho People's homepage here will serve as your personal dashboard. And not just that, you have an interactive feed space right here. This acts like your internal social wall. This is really handy now that we're all working from homes. It lets you keep all your employees informed, and it is a great way to collaborate with your employees within your teams. You can post your message here. It can be on an individual user's wall or even to a whole department or even within groups that you create. From warm welcome messages that is posted on an individual user's wall or an important decision or an activity that you would like to announce, you can make use of this space. And not just that, it gives you real-time notifications on all other features of Zoho People as well. We also have the announcement space. So as HR professionals, we all know how important it is to keep our employees informed and always include them in the loop, right? Yes, you can post location-wide announcements here and even send notifications to employees and make your announcements sticky too. So that is Zoho People's collaboration space for you. Moving on to the self-service portal. This acts like your profile page in Zoho People. This contains all information of yourself, your basic employee details, and your reporting to information, your location details, and even your basic information that is stored in the employee form of Zoho People goes here. And using quick links on the left-hand side, you can even access other features of Zoho People right from your self-service portal. You can also customize this based on your requirements. You click on personal settings and you can show or hide the right amount of information here and pick your favorite theme or choose your very own cover image. Now, for all of these details to be set up here, your Zoho People account has to be set up in the first place. So let me start with the settings space here, the gear icon. This will be visible only for administrators of your Zoho People account. And once you click on settings, you will land in the setup space, the administrator console of Zoho People, and this sports an administrator dashboard. This contains a quick snapshot of reports on your organization's trends, the user diversity report, your gender ratio, and other important information, organization-wide reports. You can access them here. And important information on your current subscription, your current plan details regarding Zoho People will also be visible here. Moving on to company details. This will be your very first step in setting up your Zoho People account. So this is a very familiar screen to all of us. You start with branding your company by adding your own logo, your location details, and even your super administrators details, and your common time zone, your time format, date format, and other important basic settings go down here. And over the course of using Zoho People, if you feel like making any changes here, you can click on Modify Settings, make the necessary changes, and click Save. Moving on to domains. Adding your very own domain and verifying it with Zoho People is important to add users directly to the system. It checks the authenticity of your account too. And you can even have your very own custom URL if you have a verified domain here. You simply need to add your purchase domain here and click on Verify. Verifying this is really simple. We offer two methods, the TXT method or the CNAME method, and all you have to do here is follow the steps listed here. Once you have a verified domain, you can rebrand your company URL. As you see here on the top, your default URL would be people.zoho.com. If you would like to customize this, maybe have your company's name here, you can customize this using the rebranding option. And moving on to the organization tab, this is where you are digitally setting up your organization in Zoho People from your employees to your employee profiles information, your location settings, and all of these go down in here. Let me start with locations here. If you are an organization, and you work in different locations, you can add multiple locations here and manage all of them from one single page. I've added a couple of locations already, and you have to click on Add Location to add a new one. You can even have your very own mail alias or any number of custom fields you can add to the location form here. And to cut out on the manual effort, or if you have a lot of locations, you can use the import icon on top. Similarly with designations, designations refer to the work profiles that you have in your organization, like a member technical staff or a quality analyst or a product marketer. Any number of designations that you have, you can set them up digitally online in your account. And the number here denotes the number of employees who are assigned to the particular designation. Moving on to departments, you can create your number of departments and you can easily sort them here. And later when you add employees, you can tag them to these departments. Once your locations, your designations, and departments is set up, you can start adding users here. Users refer to the employees of your organization. So employees, they'll have individual Zoho People accounts so that they can access their attendance, their leave, and other features of Zoho People. And adding them is possible with two main methods. You can invite them, like sending out a personal invitation, which will be sent to their work email. They should accept the invitation to be a part of your Zoho People organization. or you can even add your users directly here. If you have a verified domain, you can add them directly, or you can choose the invite multiple users option here. Now, other than adding them manually, you can also import them from an external source. And not just that, we allow third-party syncs too. If you already have a verified domain, or if you are a Zoho One user or a Zoho Mail user, you can easily import your employees from there, or from the G Suite of applications, or from your Outlook account. Once your users, your employees are added in, they'll be listed as employee records, as you see here. And clicking on them, you land in the employee form of the particular employee. This is the master data form of Zoho People, and this is where all basic details of your employees will be stored. Moving on to employee profiles. So other than users or employees that I just showed you earlier, we have profiles. You can maintain them as just profiles. They will not have active login access to their Zoho People accounts. As you see here, they will not be active, and you can maintain their details, their data here. Now this gets handy when you have field workers who do not have access to their computers or their PCs, or even employees who quit your organization. You revoke their access to Zoho People account, but still you would like to maintain their information, their data within the system. You can convert them into employee profiles. Now we've added users here. Now that users are in, let me show you how to streamline your permissions, set up access permissions for the users who you've added. So again, we all know how important it is to secure HRMS, right? So talking about securing your account, we have roles in place. Roles, Zoho People's permissions, they revolve around roles here. You simply need to create a set of roles here other than the default ones, and you need to assign your employees the particular role, and you can set an exclusive set of permissions for the same. So any employee who is tagged to the particular role will be able to access based on the set permissions. And other than roles here, you can also assign an additional, a specific role. So especially during this work from home season, a lot of employees, they are performing additional activities and roles. Yes, you can make use of this feature. So other than their main role, you're going to be assigning them an additional, a specific role here. Once roles are set up, you can set permissions for the same. As you see here, roles permissions are based on forms here. You need to select a form, and for the particular role, you can give them view, edit, add, and delete permissions. And these are the ranges of permissions that you could give. You can give them, you can completely hide data from them, or they can have access to just their data. Or if they are a reporting manager, they can have access to their reportees information plus their reportees information. Or if they are the CEO or a HR administrator, they'll have access to everybody's data. You simply need to select the permissions here. And not just that, even for individual fields of the particular form, you can apply the same set of permissions. Other than the permissions for forms and form data, you can set allowed IP restrictions here. You can add the allowed IP address, and only within the set IP address, your employees will be able to do their time logs, access the time tracker, or check in, check out, mark the attendance activity and other related actions, or access your company-wide files. So this is a great way to streamline the entire process, and you ensure that none of your employees are accessing the features within the set IP range. And not just IP ranges, we've got geographical restrictions as well, what we call as geo restrictions here. You can set up a geographical boundary, and employees who are set within the set premises will be able to access the modules. So now our basic setup is done. Now let me walk you through the different features that we have. All features of Zoho People will be accessible to you from one single place. What you see here is the services portal of Zoho People. And from here, you can access all the different services that we have in store based on the plan that you purchased. And other than these services, You can also create your very own service. You can add your very own collection of forms, have a set of automations and permissions set, and you've created a custom service. Now let me walk you through the ones that we have, starting with organization. Any information that you need to know regarding your organization, it might be your employees' information or your organization's hierarchical pattern or any other information, this will be your go-to tab, starting with a complete list of all the designations that you have to your employees' information and even your organization tree. You can access them here under the organization tab. And also right over here on the top, we have a central search space. So any employee that you would like to look up, you can just type in their name and you can search for the particular employee. Moving on to the next service in line, which is onboarding. So what we have here is candidate and employee onboarding. Even before a new hire comes in, you can onboard them as candidate, run screening tests and more using the candidate onboarding. And every candidate will have an online portal and they can provide you with their basic information. You can run background checks, even have pre-screening assessments and other details or other formalities here as part of candidate onboarding. And moving on to employee onboarding, we have a ready-made onboarding flow here to onboard your employees. And other than the flow, you can create your very own flows. So let me walk you through the employee onboarding flow. In simpler words, everything that you want your employees to know and do on their very first day at work is possible through one onboarding flow, starting with a warm welcome message to getting all information from your new joinee, getting them fill their important forms to introduction to the team. You got it all covered under the onboarding flow of Zoho People. Once this is set up, these are customizable flows. You can edit the tab names and even enable or disable the tabs here. Once this is set up, you can quickly preview the same. So this is how the onboarding flow will look for your employees. I click on Let's Get Started and I'm welcomed with the warm welcome message. The HR person of contact is introduced right on the first day. And I move on to fill out my basic employee form. You can even tag other forms here. And moving on to documents and policies. For your new joinees to be aware of the processes that you have or your code of conduct and other details, you can add them here. Again, this space is integrated with Zoho Sign as well. Maybe if it is an offer letter or any other contracts, you can send them out for digital signature. And the team members, they are introduced on the first day. And the goals or your job responsibilities of the new joinee is introduced to them on their very first day, powering productivity. Finally, a checklist marking the completion of all of these tasks. That is Zoho People's onboarding for you. And moving on to the next important service, leave management. So as we all know, this is something that is common to every organization. Yet when this is done manually, it can be really chaotic. It can be really confusing, but not with a tool like Zoho People. We offer comfortable views for you like the list view and the calendar view. So even before you go and apply for leave, you get a quick look at your available and your taken leave balance across different leave types. And all your leave applications, they stay here in one page. And if you are a manager or an administrator, you can easily monitor your reportees' leave information here, selecting the name from the drop down, and you'll get to look at their leave applications, their information. And not just that, you can allow your employees to compensate their absence using the compensatory of button here. They simply need to work on a holiday or a weekend, which they can later compensate it with a day of absence. They can raise it as a request, and once the request is approved, the day of absence will be compensated with work done on a holiday or on a weekend. And also holidays, a general setup of all holidays that is applicable to your organization based on your geographical location. You can add them here and you can make them available to different shifts and different locations too. Moving on to settings here, this will be your space to create your leave types, even customize the leave balances of your employees, set up your calendar settings, and more. Let me walk you through creating, let me walk you through how to create a new leave type here. For a simple example, let me pick a leave type that we're all familiar with, a casual leave type. Now let me show you how to create a casual leave type here. I can choose to color code this, pick a representative image if required, and select the type, also the validity and the entitlement. So this is the number of days that you want to give your employees as part of the particular leave type. So in my case, this is going to be an experience-based leave. So employees who actually completed 6 months from the date of joining. So in other words, employees who completed their probation here, they'll be eligible for the particular casual leave. And I would like to accrue this. So I'm going to give my employees 12 days of casual leave and not all of them at the same time at once. So it is going to be a monthly accrual here. So on the first of every month, my employees will get 1 day of casual leave. So this will be reset every year on the last day of the year. You can even choose the month and the day here. And if you are an organization who encourages leave accumulation, and if you would like to encash it, you can allow them to carry forward or use the encashment option as well. And once your basic policy is set up, you can configure the applicability here. We have a wide variety of options here from gender to marital status, which is really useful when you're configuring maternity leave or even exceptional leaves for senior most citizens of your organization. You can add them here, even for different roles and locations, and also exceptions. And under restrictions, you have a wide array of advanced settings here. Any combination that you would like to enforce here as part of your leave type based on your location or based on your organization's leave policy, you can set it up here. And this is how you create a new leave type. And we also have insightful leave reports. So monitoring your employees' absenteeism and making necessary changes, this is like a very most common challenge that HR professionals face these days. But with useful reports like this, you can easily monitor them and draw insights from these reports. Let me move on to attendance. Similar to leave, we have comfortable leave type, comfortable views here. So this gives you all important information that you need regarding your day of work, right from your check-in and your check-out entries to the general shift that you are mapped in. And if mobile check-in or web check-in is enabled, if web check-in is enabled for you, you can do a web check-in right from here. We also have an option to do a mobile check-in, which I'll be showing you later. If you are a manager, you can easily monitor your employees' attendance pattern by clicking on the drop-down, selecting the name, and all the leave applications along with their attendance logs will be listed here. Moving on to regularization. Now, before we dive deep into the topic, I would like to consider this. Now, imagine now that we're all working from homes, there is a case where an employee's attendance is not marked properly and they would like to correct it before their payday. So how do you handle this now? Is it through mails or you go manually correct it? The best way to go about this is raising a regularization request here. You're simply correcting a wrong attendance entry in your employee's system here. All they need to do is type in the right check-in and checkout entry here, select the reason. Maybe they forgot to check in or it is a system error. You can add it here and click submit. So once the regularization request is approved by the HR professional or by their respective manager, the day's attendance will be corrected. You can completely automate the regularization process like this. And moving on to rostering, managing, creating shifts. So all of these can be completely automated with Zoho People. You simply need to add any number of shifts here and define the time. And once you create shifts, you can map your employees to the particular shift. by clicking on Assign Shift here. These can be for individual users or location-based shift assignment too. And once your employees are mapped to their respective shifts, you get a consolidated view of the same under the shift calendar. You can quickly see which employee is mapped to which shift, and you can use the date bar on the top to navigate to and fro. And breaks. Even as part of your shift timings or your employees' day of work, you can introduce paid or unpaid breaks here. These can be taken automatically or manually by the employee. So this is a great feature to be put to use during a work from home situation like this, where you're configuring breaks for your employees and you're neatly monitoring, giving them a break and keeping a check on productivity as well. And once shifts are set up, you can automate shift rotations here instead of manual rotations. All you need to do is schedule the frequency here and also the time of change, and the particular shifts need to be selected here, and the system will auto rotate these shifts for you. And what's even more intuitive is that you can set reminders for shift swaps. So this will inform your employees prior to the shift swap, mentioning that you are getting changed from this shift to the other shift, and they'll be informed of the same. That is the attendance management system of Zoho People for you. And moving on to timesheets. So this acts like your time tracker, where your employees will be working on their jobs and they'll be doing time logs for the job. And all time logs, they go down into timesheets, and you can approve timesheets and process your payroll, or you can process bills or invoices out of it. So this will be your employees' time tracker dashboard. All they need to do is select the project that they are working on, select the job, add the work item, and they can use the automatic timer option here, or even manual time log methods like these. It can be a monthly time log, weekly or daily, based on your organization's requirements. And all these time logs, they go into timesheets, as you see here. A timesheet is basically a collection of time logs. You clearly get a look at your employees' logged in hours and the particular project they are working on. And this can be sent out for approval here. And once this is approved, you can push them to QuickBooks for invoicing, or you can even push time logs of approved timesheets to QuickBooks if you are using QuickBooks, or you can push it to Zoho Books for bookkeeping purposes, or Zoho Invoice to generate invoices out of it. And setting up the time tracker starts with setting up your clients. Clients will have projects associated underneath them, and projects will have individual jobs for which your employees will be logging their time. And this is not a mandatory setup that you have to do. You can set up your client database here easily, manually using the Add Client button. Or if you're already using Zoho CRM, you can easily pull in your list of clients from Zoho CRM. And projects for clients, you can set up projects here. And if you are a Zoho Projects user, you can pull in the complete list of projects that you set up there. And for projects, you can add job work items like these. And for these jobs, your employees will be logging their time. And what's even special is for jobs that your employees are working on, you can have a neat schedule like this. So job schedule is like a digital timetable of work items that you're setting up for your employees. This ensures that none of your employees are overworked, and you always ensure that your employees are staying ahead of their deadlines. So with a tool like this, you can easily monitor your employees' productivity, the time they spend working for your organization, and even get insights from the time tracker reports. The next service that I would like to show here is the performance management system of Zoho People. This is one of our customers' favorites because it is a very accurate tool. You can try it out for yourself. And before we dwell deep into the topic, let me ask you a simple question, or I want you all to think about this. Now, how do you manage performance in your organization? Like, what are the metrics that you use? So while you're thinking at it, let me walk you through the performance modules that we have in store. Any performance metric that you use, that you have in your organization, you name it, we have it here. As you see here, we have a wide list of different evaluation metrics to accurately measure your employees' performance. And all you need to do is simply select the one that is the right fit for your organization. We have goals, KRAs or KPIs, even summaries that you can maintain on your employees, an open feedback system that you could set up in your organization, and from performance evaluations to salary hikes, we've got it all covered here. And you can rename this based on the terminologies that you have in your organization too. Now, once your performance modules are picked up, you can set up your appraisal cycle. So this is like your normal appraisals, but it comes with intuitive options. We have neatly allotted periods for process periods. We even allow self-appraisals where you ask your employees what they feel about their performance or what areas need more improvement and other details. What's even best is multi-rater feedback. This is my personal favorite. So as we all know, many organizations, they have different project managers and they keep on rotating all around the year, right? So it's not like one manager for the whole year. Such organizations, they can involve all these different managers as multiple raters for an employee so that their appraisal process is fair and is accurate. And you can set up the reviewers you want to be part of the appraisal cycle. The order that you set here is really important because the system will follow the order that you set here. And the final result, you can choose the right amount of information to be displayed to your employees here. You can choose the fields here. And what's even best is it does not stop here. It allows your employees to share their appraisal feedback. So this is a great way to listen to your employees if they were happy with the performance or the appraisals that they've got. Was it fair or just? And if yes or no, you can review, you can extend reviews, you can go through all of this once again, and you can satisfy your employees. So once appraisals like these are over, all evaluation metrics that are part of an employee's process will be listed here as part of the performance dashboard. From my goals information to my skill set information, I can quickly take a look at all these metrics that are allotted to me. And based on all of these, important performance reports are generated. So one noteworthy report that I would like to show you is the performance versus potential report here. This is an intuitive 9-box matrix that tells you not just about your employees' performance alone, but their innate potential as well, which is calculated based on their skill set range. Now you know that where your employees are standing. You know that your employees, they need more development in certain areas. There are employees who actually have a lot of potential, but they're keeping it low key, or you also have consistent tasks. Again, you can change these groups. These names are customizable based on your requirements. So when you have neat, insightful reports like these, you know the areas in which your employees needs to grow. And this is where learning springs forth. So talking about learning, we have a comfortable learning management system in place. This is a great way to facilitate learning, and this is the best season to do so. Now that we're all working from homes, this will be a great space to upskill your employees based on your business's field of work or your employees' interests. You can create courses like these. You click on add course and you can choose among the 3 types of courses that we have. It can be a self-paced learning course where your employee is learning the course at their own speed, at their own pace, or it can be a blended learning course where you will be assigning a trainer and the trainer will be responsible for teaching or for course completion. And e-materials, these are like guideline documents or reference documents that is going to stay here online to inform and to instruct your employees. So particularly during this work from home season, you can maybe have a guideline document on how to be productive during the work from home season or other things which your employees can go and refer to. So what's my favorite feature here is the My Team space. So this is a great way to look at the learning pattern of your reportees, and this integrates with the performance management system. If you are a manager, your reportees information, their skill set information will be listed here, and you can go ahead and suggest a course for them based on their skill set. So I see that my reportee here is a tad bit low when it comes to this particular skill set. I can suggest a course that can help her with this. This is a great way to bridge skill set gaps of your employees. And what's special is till July 31 to provide an uninterrupted learning experience for you all. The learning management system is free for all Zoho People plans. So do try it out today. I'm sure it is going to be a very useful tool for you and for your employees to upskill now. Last in line, we have Cases. Cases is an online question management tool. You can even use it like a grievance management tool to record all your employees' questions here, their concerns here. And it is a very comfortable tool too. So let me walk you through the same. You can neatly sort them, your employees' questions, into categories here. For example, maybe now you can create a category called as work from home, and all your employees questions that revolve around this particular category can go down here, and all they have to do is click on ask us here to type in their question. So even before they go ahead and raise the question, they can refer through your mini knowledge base that is created. You can have your process neatly outlined here, or even highlight frequently asked questions. And every category will have an admin or an agent. So the agent will be responsible to answer your employees' questions on the particular category. So you're streamlining your employees' questions with an individual DRI like this. This is your space to ask or type in the questions. So once a request like this is raised, this will be assigned to the particular agent, as you see here. And the agent can neatly go and update the status if they're working or if it's in progress or it is waiting or something. And answers will be added to the comment thread here. And not just that, even while they're answering, they can add a new FAQ here or even quote an already added FAQ, because we all know that we deal with a lot of repetitive questions. And if there are any actionable tasks that are involved as part of answering the employee's question, you can assign tasks here. And as for the employee, they they neatly know the status, or they're going to be getting an answer soon. And that's what an online question management tool can do for you. Now heading back to the services space. So far I've been walking you through the different features that we have. So like I mentioned earlier, other than the default ones, the ready-made ones that we have in store, we allow you to create your very own custom service using the create new service button. You might have a unique process that is followed in your organization or a unique service. You can create your own service with your own set of forms here. I've created one here, an ID card request to manage with all missing ID cards or issuing new ID cards to employees. So all they have to do is fill out the ID card request form in the ID card service, which will go out for approval, and the asset card team or their ID card team will be notified using a automated mail alert, and the new ID card will be issued. So this is a sample service that I've created. You can have millions of combinations, any unique requirement of yours. You can create your very own service here. And all of these that I just showed you, they are accessible right from the palm of your hands. Here's the Zoho People's mobile application, a very handy one, available for both Android and iOS, so that you can keep a check on your services, your approvals, even do mobile check-in and check-out, all of these from the mobile application. So with this, we come to the end of the session. Thank you so much for joining me today.